Okay, so I'll note for the record, this is the Town of Fairfield's Economic Development Commission meeting of Thursday, November 4th, 2021. It's now 8:32 a.m. We're meeting via Zoom as we have for the last year and a half or so. And we have with us the chairman, Kevin Lesko, as well as commissioners Justin Beck, Steve Rosato, and Ken Hochhauser. We also have our invited guest, Michael Iannazzi from Sacred Heart University, as well as Jason at Sacred Heart, the Shoe Community Theater, and Bev Ballas at the Fairfield Chamber of Commerce, as well as some other members of the public that are also partaking in today's meeting. So with that, I'll turn things over to you, Kevin, for your call to order and entertaining the approval of the minutes.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As a quick note, we had a terrific Halloween on the Green this past week, and the weather's been terrific for us. I noticed that the signs are being changed on the post road, so we're changing out to shopping local, which is all a great thing. We have one of our commissioners is going to be hiring. He's not in just yet, Don Peterson. I'm hoping that he'll join in a little later, and so if he does, then we'll talk more about it. But he has been a terrific commissioner and quite an asset to this commission for a number of years. And we just want to recognize what a terrific man he has been and how generous he has been with his time for our town. So, calling the meeting to order, I'll ask for an approval of the minutes from last month. Do I have a second?
Second.
Excellent. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Excellent. Mark, would you like to introduce our speaker, Michael, from the Sacred Heart University?
Yeah, we have with us Michael Iannazzi and Jason Ebert from Sacred Heart University. I think Michael handles marketing communications for the university, if I got that correct, Michael, but yeah. I think he's going to provide, it's helpful. Both universities here are stalwart community minded organizations. They do a lot for the community. They're both growing, which is certainly good news. They provide significant employment base, so they contribute to the vibrancy of Fairfield in many ways. And I thought it's helpful to hear from them periodically as to what's new and different, what's going on campus. Both have made significant investments in their on-campus facilities over the last decade or more. Certainly, Sacred Heart has done a lot, acquiring the former GE headquarters site to make it their West Campus, and are doing some renovations and other improvements to that facility, but it also added a lot of residential dormitory space. So with that, I thought it would be helpful for the commission to hear from Michael and Jason as to what's going on, what's different, and get a little update on things at Sacred Heart. So with that, I'll turn it over to Michael, and I think he has a presentation. Hopefully I gave him permission to screen share. We'll take it from there.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. We'll try to be as quick as possible. Jason is here. Jason Ebert is our Executive Director of Hospitality and University Events. And so the new Sacred Heart Community Theater reports into Jason. And so, Mark, if we're going too long or something, just stop us. Can you can you hear me okay?
You're great.
All right.
Very.
So let me, I'll start off with this, with the PowerPoint, and we'll hopefully not bore you with this, and we'll move quickly. Can you see the PowerPoint? We're good?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, just a video. Sorry.
It does. I don't see it yet, so that's why I'm.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. You know,
Technology. So
I should know how to do this.
there it is.
I
There we
use
go.
Now you're good.
maybe I was too excited, you know, like it looked good to me here, so I don't. All right. Sorry about that.
We're gonna have a little lag with the sound, I think.
Okay, that's, I hope it worked more or less.
Probably the sound will show up 10 minutes later, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's a setting for optimizing sound, so you get it. It's in the in your settings.
Is that's me?
No, if you're going to share the screen, you have to optimize sound.
Okay,
All right, well, I'm sorry about it.
that's
So-
okay. We got the point, Michael.
So just quickly, facts about when we were founded, 1963, we're kind of young amongst our peer institutions, but we have grown to be the second largest in terms of student population of Catholic universities in New England. Just where we're headed, we were put on this national list, Carnegie classification, which also is reflected in the US News, of doctoral professional universities. And these are the folks who hand out professional doctorate degrees. And you'll see some of those on the next page. But that's 151 schools nationwide that are in that kind of new category. It used to be the old R3 kind of category for the Carnegie classifications. And this is the way universities are kind of classified nationally. These doctoral programs are really what's fueling the growth kind of in that national presence. These are the ones that are that we have right now on campus, and there are a number of doctoral programs that are to come. Just in terms of our mission, just to remind people, we are a Catholic Catholic university, and we take that very proudly. And if you saw in the Hearst papers this week, there was an op-ed by our president in this space of the Catholic space and the divisions that are currently in the church. We are a contemporary Catholic university, and so we address these issues kind of in the public square as much as we can. And you see it reflected throughout the university, not only, you know, kind of walking around here, you would see a couple of weeks ago a huge rally, LGBTQ coming out day celebration in our quad. You would also see it if you walked into campus ministry, where we have a rabbi, a Buddhist monk, a Protestant chaplain, an imam. So we're very, we hope we are very open, and we hope that people see it and it's evidence all around them. We have grown a lot, as Mark said. Just these are the last 10-year growth numbers, which for on the undergraduate side, we've grown about 50%. So we're just shy of 10,000 students now, and we're from 46 states and over 40 countries. Alumni, you can just see the numbers there. The bulk of that alumni really has come. So we were founded in '63. We became a residential college in the early '90s. Our current president, John Patillo, has been here about 11 years, and 50% of the alumni body has come within that 10 years. It just shows you the growth of the institution in terms of the numbers of undergraduates. Faculty, these are just some numbers. We don't have, by design, large lecture halls here. So if you walk around campus and you look in the classrooms, you'll see small classrooms throughout. That's just the way we're designed. That's the, you'll see it everywhere. On the athletics, it's interestingly, we have 33 Division I sports. I think Boston College, the one we're aspiring to be, has 18. So we have a lot of sports and 29 club sports. That's about 2,000 students involved in athletics here. So it's a big piece of who we are. Academics, just to give you kind of an overview, how many undergraduate, graduate programs we have, and the colleges, arts and sciences. We have the Jack Welch College of Business and Technology. We put engineering and computer science within the College of Business a few years ago. Nursing, health professions, education. Education and business are over on the West Campus, the old, which is the old GE, and we've completely transformed that space. If you have not seen it, it is amazing. We have taken that space and only improved it, which was, it's hard for me to believe, having lived in this area like, close to 30 years, to just walk around there. The new atrium that we built where we did the vaccine clinic is something to see. We'll see a little bit later on our hockey arena and our plans to build that. It's already, the steel is already up with that. Community service, always a big part since our founding, getting involved in the community in many ways, not only in social services, but in the classrooms all around here. Campus, we're up to, we've grown a lot. You'll see a little bit later on the growth. We're up to 300 acres if we're including the golf course in Milford, which is a terrific golf course, the purchase of GE, the old Jewish home. We have satellite campuses still at Stanford Hospital in Stanford, where we have our PA program, and Griswold, the graduate education program. Study abroad, we have a thriving campus in Dingle, Ireland. All of our students want to go there. It's at capacity. We're building there too, like we are building here. We have a campus in Luxembourg, an MBA program, and in Rome, we have not a campus, but we have a program in Rome, amongst many other places, but those are the three kind of big study abroad programs. Total square footage, look at the growth since 2010. We've almost tripled the growth, and we've needed every inch of it, and we could use some more, but that just gives you a sense of the growth. And on the acreage side too, many people remember the old footprint of Sacred Heart, about 56 acres. Add on to that, the old Fitness 4000, the Martyri across the way, Jewish home, great, GE, we're up to over 300. We've done this remarkably kind of with financial stability, and even kind of grown our financial stability over the years. We're always in the black. This is the way we manage. This is what Jack Welch most loved about Sacred Heart. He was impressed that a university runs in the black and runs like a business. This is a critical measure for us as we grow. The impact also is kind of, you can see the impact that the university has in the area. That's not only because we've grown so much, but also the construction is fueling a lot of the numbers here. We've built 21 buildings in the last 10 years. If you haven't been on campus, it's the range of stuff, a lot of which you would see from the street, some of which you don't see from the street. This is the hockey arena. You can see the steel is kind of up there. It's scheduled to open a year from now, January. I won't do the video because I just don't think it'll play well, but this is on our website, and it's a fly through of what the arena is going to look like. And so it's just kind of fun to see. Pioneer Village. This is all the old Jewish home area. So it's been completely transformed. We call it Pioneer Village, but this is kind of the overview of it. So if you're looking from campus to what was the Jewish home, you can see it's all residential housing. The only building that remains from the Jewish home is the Toussaint building, which is the old Bennett building here, kind of on the left in the middle. All of this other stuff is brand new over the last few years. We just opened the back two last year. This is one of the buildings that's kind of on the right as you were looking at that overview. Bowman Hall. Thea's Abbey is the dining hall within Bowman Hall. That's the front of Bowman Hall. Little overview. Mother Teresa Hall was in the back left-hand corner. Cabrini, right-hand corner there, new. Most apartment style living there. Sophomores, some freshmen, sophomores, a little bit of juniors. If you haven't seen our 1950s era diner here, we opened this up a few years ago. I included it because I'm not sure people get a chance. The students love it, and they go there to get the milkshakes and everything. The new Bobby Valentine Health and Recreation Center opened a couple of years back. It's designed to be athletic space for the just the student population, not our Division I athletes. We have taken over the management of Discovery Science Center and Planetarium. And that's integrated with, I mean, we're using it as teaching space. We're using it to outreach to all the schools in the area and bringing some of our best knowledge and faculty to the exhibit space there, so it can be as vibrant as possible. There are great things to come there. And if you haven't been inside or haven't been to the planetarium, it really is state-of-the-art planetarium. It's the best thing between New York and Boston. It's got great technology in there. Well, okay, so I'm at the end. Jason, I will hand this over to you for the community theater. If you can just walk us through that quickly. I can steer it from you, so just tell me next and I'll advance it.
Okay, you can advance it. So for those of you who I'm sure all of you are very familiar with the community theater downtown, the theater opened up 101 years ago in the middle of a pandemic, and we decided to honor that tradition and do the same thing. And we opened up this 101-year-old theater. We took it down to the dirt and brick, and it's been completely reimagined and re-engineered from the ground up. For those of you who have been down so far, you've been able to see the inside. We kept a Art Deco theme to it with modern day technology and comfort. Our opening weekend, our soft opening weekend, was Memorial Day. We wanted to kind of get a feel for, what we wanted to adjust, make some tweaks to the sound, video, and lighting systems. And we've been having a blast ever since, to be quite honest with you. Our grand opening was in September. We opened up with Javier Colon, a local artist. We opened up with Megan Hilty, and we also had some local programming that we were able to do. We had a ribbon cutting with Brenda, with Dr. Patillo, some of our GAs who are pictured here, Maddie and Lauren, who have been with us since the beginning, helping us develop programming, helping us run the operations, along with the team that we're building down there, which is we're really mixing in, just like the university does, local talent, area talent that's coming in from New York, as well as folks from the university who are graduating in the areas of study. You can go to the next one, Michael. We have had a wide range of programming since opening those doors. We've done everything from a week dedicated to 9/11 information and education, where we showed films that were dedicated to different perspectives to 9/11. We had an opening birthday party for the building owners, Al and Alita Kleban, where we featured 3 opera stars. And we tested the natural acoustics of this space, which were absolutely incredible. Featured here, joining the stage of Bill Burden and Isabel Leonard, was our own Allegra DeVita, who's a graduate from SHU and currently performing opera in and around the country. You can skip to the next one. That's Megan Hilty. This is a shot of one of our dressing rooms. To give you, if you haven't been inside the theater for a tour, I would encourage you to come and see it. It's really been returned back to its original state or design, if you would say, back to when it was originally built. Let me explain that a little bit. When the theater was first created, for those who don't know, there was no marquee. There was only an entrance on the corner. It was a vaudeville style entertainment theater. It included a dinner theater, the restaurant, apartments above, and it was its own the green rooms wrapped around. So it was all one venue. You entered in from the current door at Old Post Tavern, and that's how you entered the whole facility. Since the Clevelands have taken it over and remodeled the building, they've incorporated those original green room spaces, which are stage left, which have been used over the last few decades as optometry offices and retail space. We've now incorporated them to give you the full experience. So we have the ability to bring in national acts and treat them in the way that they are accustomed to being treated at state-of-the-art venues all around the country. We also extended the stage, which allow us to provide, oh, was that it? Is that my whole time?
That's it. Oh, no, the show's over. You could, I'm not cutting you.
Sorry, I could talk forever about this theater. You know, I have a genuine love affair for this place. It's the heart of this town. I've been going there since the early 90s. My wife and I dated at that theater. You'll hear that story all the time. We still have the ticket stubs from our second date at that theater. We take this project extremely seriously because it's close to our heart and we know how close it is to the heart of our community. I've met hundreds, if not thousands, of people from town and surrounding areas. And I love that all of you out there have a piece of ownership of this building and of what comes from it. I think that that's very valuable. And we take that commitment very seriously. So we do a lot of listening, which we did the first 3 months that the theater was open. We altered our programming so that we could make sure we're always in balance, not only with culture, but also with style of entertainment and our diversity of entertainment and programming. We are focusing on programs that will bring us a wide variety of perspective in all of film, live performance, and educational programming. And educational programming come through our own contacts here on campus, as well as partnerships with the Fairfield Museum and the library, which has shown to be quite popular. Any questions out there that I can lead from? Otherwise, I will babble until you shut me off.
I can attest to that. Jason is very passionate about what he does, which is great. But thank you both, Jason and Michael, for that presentation. I did want to allow for some time for questions. I mean, we'd love to do this on campus because, seeing is believing type thing, but, we're still in that kind of gray area. We're hoping to say goodbye to COVID-19 in terms of the pandemic, but we're not quite there yet. So do appreciate the virtual presentation. We'll hopefully get a chance to see it in person live at some point in the near future. But questions from commissioners?
It was a comment and a question. Just very appreciative of the way Sacred Heart has integrated and considered the community and all the projects they're doing. It just really feels part of the town and works hand in hand with us. I think very complimentary to the town of Fairfield. And congratulations on the phenomenal success. My question is if on a very high bar you set, what is next?
Well, we really have to grow our national reputation in order to succeed going into the future. I mean, higher education is a tricky place to be right now, demographically, particularly where we are in the Northeast. So, if we are going to continue in our mission, we're going to need to grow our kind of recruiting grounds and our footprint in that way. There's so many things that are changing in higher education, but the immediate challenge is this. I mean, luckily, we have had this increase in students consistently. And so people really want to come here. And when they visit, that kind of clinches it. There's something special, I think, that people have been telling us about the culture, and that it feels like home. Home is the word that students always use, families always use to describe this. But, we just need to grow our presence. And so that's how come that Carnegie classification was really important to us for the professional doctorates, because we were previously categorized in this Masters in the North category, which is, kind of a regional classification. The doctoral programs enabled us to stretch into kind of the national space. And we're just starting this, so it's only just beginning. But we hope, and our strategic plan is to grow that.
Michael,
It is extraordinary, the success though, because I am somewhat in the academic space, and my company is, and just enrollment is down significantly. If this trend continues like through next fall, it will be a 50-year low in college enrollments.
Yeah.
And I talk to a lot of community colleges and public universities, and their budgets are cut, and they are seeing decline in enrollment, not filling positions. It is a challenging market. I mean, it's not everyone, but it is the majority.
You know, it's a troubling thing beyond just the business mechanic. It's a troubling thing for our entire country that we're in this place in terms of the and related to that is a challenge we are wrestling with. Every college around here is wrestling with, is the disappearing males. We are trying to build programming and an environment that is attractive to males, because they're just disappearing, and it's troubling. It's troubling. So,
Michael, it's Kevin Lesko. I want to bring it back to a thought you had when you were gracious to host us at the West Campus about a year and a half ago. You mentioned your consideration of developing along the roadside a mall-like or mini mall type of development. Have you moved forward on that thought pattern at all?
we haven't.
We're talking about it. Part of it is the town, you know, so I'll take Michael off the hook a little bit, because part of it is the town in terms of doing our land use planning around that, but there's certainly an opportunity there. And I think we found a receptive partner in Sacred Heart, and we just need to further align our land use planning and our goals. And we have an opportunity to do that through the POCD update and our zoning reg update. So I don't know if you want to add anything, Michael, but that's kind of where we're at.
No, it's definitely a desire of ours.
It's on our plate right now. So
Right. So what we're saying is it's a mutually desired concept right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good. That's great. I'm happy to hear that. I think that's a great opportunity for that space as well. And just a quick comment on both the campus and the theater. Amazing work. Really, the attention to detail is wonderful. The architectural choices that are being made are really flattering, and I'm really happy to see that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So does anyone else have any questions for them at this time?
I just have a comment. The community theater, I was there for the grand opening. It was a wonderful event. Managed to take the tour, got to see all the green rooms and everything. Really fabulous job, love it. I grew up in Fairfield, so I remember the old days, you know, going there for when it was one theater before they split it into two, way back in the old days. So that was terrific. By the way, I was co-bookstore manager at Sacred Heart University in 1979.
Wow.
Yeah. For a brief period, I worked for United College Bookstores, which was a division of United Art Company, and they were managing the college bookstores back in those days. So I look forward to coming back and seeing how the bookstore has grown since then.
I'll tell you, we're running out of space for the bookstore. We need more space there. But come see it. It's different than what it was.
I'm sure. From 79.
Excellent. Well, again, gentlemen, thank you for
may I ask one question, please?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Hi, this is Kenny Hockhauser. So obviously you guys have a reputation as a degree and building a fabulous reputation on top of the reputation. In terms of research, what's your how are you guys moving toward gathering or seeking more research funding and grants?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. It's tied to our national growth and moving beyond the professional doctorate category into the research doctorates, which are PhDs. So you'll see in that list of doctoral programs, a few PhDs now, and there are more coming. And the growth of that entire piece of the university. So that's a big element of how we're going to grow in the future onto the research side. And we have on the grant side, just alone in terms of the grants and research side, it has grown 5 times what it was in the last 5 years. So we're seeing kind of that exponential growth, not only in the grants, but you're going to see it in our doctoral program.
I know one of the areas.
And what disciplines are those? Are those the life science disciplines?
Let me see.
I thought you had mentioned the cybersecurity, computer engineering sciences, those type of programs.
Yeah, well, yes. So the grants that we've received have been mostly life sciences, cyber, so like nursing, health professions. So yes, life sciences. I'm trying to think if there are any, and in terms of the PhD programs, social work and health sciences. Did I answer? Did you hear me?
Yeah, I think you did.
And you're looking to be leaders in these emergent fields? Is
Absolutely.
that, top 10, top 20?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Like for our DPT program and the nursing programs, they are nationally recognized, nationally competitive. So it's just all of this takes a few years.
It's phenomenal if you think about, the institution was founded in 1963, which is not that long ago, and the amazing growth since then. It is a phenomenal story, really.
We're a baby in terms of colleges, the way it runs. People often say, they come to my office in frustration, and they say, well, Boston College is known for that, or some school. Well, they had 100+ years on us, so it just doesn't Notre Dame doesn't happen overnight. But also part of the national growth story, you could see it in the hockey arena. We are nationally competitive in hockey. We beat 2 Hockey East teams, which is the best hockey country, or one of the best in the country, in the last 3 weeks, BU and Maine. So we skate with the very best. And so that is helping going along with the research and the PhD programs, athletics. I mean, it's a big piece. We wouldn't know Notre Dame without a football team. And
an NBC contract.
Michael, can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
And feel free to not answer it if you don't feel comfortable. But I think at one point you were part of potentially taking over University of Bridgeport.
Yeah.
And then I think you stepped away from it.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Ultimately you got in there and decided after looking at it closer, it wasn't going to be a good fit. Or do you have something more?
Well, the numbers didn't add up once we got under the hood.
Okay.
And the finances, as I said before, the finances are a really important piece of how we evaluate things here. We don't move forward unless we think, it's going to be, we can do it successfully. And so once we really wanted to do it, we saw potential. We wanted to help the community and keep, UB there. But once it did not make sense financially for us to move forward.
There's actually kind of an interesting, and I got to go into this just for a second. They have a cadaver program there, and they are one of the few licensed in Connecticut that can do that. And I couldn't help but think that would be super beneficial for the nursing program or any other programs going forward.
Kevin, we have a cadaver lab in our new building down there.
Do you have and you were able to obtain a licensing for it? Oh, okay. So I thought it was a very difficult licensing process to go through.
Well, it is, but we've had it for a number of years now.
Okay. Oh, I have learned something new. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, the hockey arena, is it going to have multi-use beyond hockey?
Yes. Well, all ice sports, so figure skating and all the ice sports, but not beyond ice.
Won't be a basketball arena,
No.
Or concerts or anything like that.
concert. Well, maybe.
Well, in terms of concerts, you know, I don't know, concerts, a commencement we hope to hold there.
Interesting. Interesting.
Right now, what we do in downtown Bridgeport, except for lunch.
Okay. All right.
I would just say congratulations on everything, your growth, academics, and the theater is just amazing. You've become a beautiful centerpiece for downtown Fairfield. So congratulations on everything. And I love it that you have the planetarium too.
Thanks,
Very good.
man. Appreciate all your support.
Thank you very much, Michael
Michael.
and Jason. Appreciate it again.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for inviting us.
Yes.
Thank you.
See you again next year sometime, hopefully on campus.
Yeah, we'll take a tour. We'll take a bus tour. I'm happy to do that.
Excellent.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Mark, could you give us an update on our the comprehensive economic development strategy?
Yeah, I'm happy to report that the MetroCog board approved the plan, the SEDS plan, and submitted it to the state, which also approved it. And it's now before the U.S. Economic Development Administration for their review and acceptance. So making progress there. Hopefully, once EDA signs off on it, then we'll work with the board of MetroCog to implement some of the recommendations in the report.
Excellent. Very, very good. Anyone have any questions regarding that?
And I'll just briefly go into a couple. I wanted to call to your attention a couple development applications and give you a status report. 40 Hillside Road up in the Greenfield Hill area. We have an application pending for a zone change and site plan approval for a new veterinary hospital facility by Dr. Marsh, who operates a veterinary care facility in the neighborhood already. This is the site of the former Jehovah's Witness church property that is under contract. The application or public hearing rather was continued. They do have the support of the Greenfield Hill Improvement Association and several neighbors, but there's also some opposition from some of the abutting property owners as well. So we'll keep tabs on that as that progresses or goes forward. 750. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So with that, would it be helpful for them to maybe present it to us and have us write a letter?
At this point, it's the hearing's already underway, and probably by the time we actually entertain it, they'll conclude the hearing. So
Thank you.
750 Post Road, which you probably already know, is the Chick-fil-A site. Thankfully, the hearing was mercifully concluded. I think we had 3 or 4 nights of public hearing. It's now pending a decision from the commission. They may take it up at their next meeting next week, as early as next week, potentially after that. We did have an election, so there's a couple commission members that are leaving the commission. I'm sure that the chairman is one of them, and perhaps would like to tie this up before he hands the reins over to somebody else, but that's still out there. And then 801 Post Road, which we did submit an application in support of, which is the Pizza Co. application on the corner there where the old gas station was located. It was approved by the commission, but it was approved with conditions that are somewhat rigid. And as a result of those conditions, it may not be financially feasible to move forward with the project, unfortunately. Basically the conditions that were imposed, the commission had discretion to not grant variance to allow use of the 10-foot setback from the street line. And they didn't grant that discretion, which is a departure from the prior use. The prior use actually used the entire footprint of the site, as you can probably see. The commission felt it best to hold to the 10-foot setback, which would result in a reduction in the number of parking spaces, which then has a corresponding reduction in the number of in the area, the patron floor area, which then has an impact in terms of the business plan and whether or not they can underwrite the project financially. So I think the commission members were somewhat persuaded or thought that it would be okay, given testimony on the record that a lot of their business is takeout. But I think they were trying to provide balance between takeout and sit down dining options for folks. In the end, I'm not sure that it will actually go forward, and then we'll back this the square one in terms of what the reuse of that site is. But it's unfortunate, I guess I would term that. So that's my quick update. The only other thing I'll note is that there is a pending sale, transfer of the property and development rights to the crossings at Fairfield Metro. I think I indicated to the commission previously that the developer at the moment, Enclave Equities, was unable to get unanimity among all their investors and equity partners in the project to actually move forward with developing the site. So as a result, they put the property on the market. We do have a pending sale to a New Jersey-based development company. We've met with them. They seem like they're ready to go. They plan on building the project as approved. They do want to make some additional modifications down the road in terms of doing additional development on site, which we would welcome. But we're anxious to move ahead with that. So that's just a quick update on development sites here in town. I'll pause for any questions that folks may have on other sites or development projects.
Just a comment on that Metro property. I'm not sure if anyone has had an opportunity to walk the paths there. It's actually a pretty impressive property. I've stopped and looked at it, but only in more recent times have I walked it. And of course, right now they cut everything down, and so it's wide open. It's really a pretty piece of property. It really will make a nice development once that gets going.
Absolutely. We can only hope that it gets moving quickly, and that they have a lot of site work to do. So once the property does transfer, you'll probably see a lot of earth moving equipment before we actually start, erecting foundations or building walls. But the good news is it seems like it's on track to transfer, and the developer, the new incoming purchaser and developer of the site, is anxious to get started, has done a lot of work in New Jersey that's very similar to this, and has seemingly not had any difficulty in raising capital through the capital markets to underwrite some of these projects. So hopefully I'll keep everyone posted as to where we are in that process.
Yeah.
Quick question. Over by BJ's next to there, we have our movie theaters. And then there's the Bridgeport movie theaters, which I guess is demolished. What's happening over there? Do we know what's going on in that?
On the Bridgeport side, side, it's a Spinnaker development. It's residential, several hundred units of residential that are being built on the former Bridgeport movie theater site. The Fairfield Cinemas is currently offered for lease. It's an industrial condo shared between the movie theater company and BJ's. We've looked at a lot of different options there, but it is a very unique space. So it's somewhat difficult to reimagine or renovate that space. It's going to be expensive too, but so that's where we're at currently. But there's no indication that they want to do any kind of residential on that portion of the site, which we're not encouraging. So. And Kevin, if you're okay, I'll just give a couple other quick updates and then turn things over to Bev for her report. But I did want to make mention of the fact that obviously we're in the midst of Fairfield Restaurant Week, which our office coordinates. That's running now through Sunday, the 7th of November. We have 28 restaurants participating. So if you haven't already gotten out there to partake, you only have a few more days to do so. We are running also with our downtown retailers a special shopping night this evening. with extended store hours, in-store promotions, giveaways, and prizes, we thought that we would take advantage of Restaurant Week and the increased foot activity downtown to do some additional, provide an opportunity for kickoff, for an advanced kickoff to the holiday shopping season. So if you're interested in doing that, I'm not sure that this is the right audience to pitch that, but as it is, we are doing that. And we are also working with the Chamber and their downtown merchants with the holiday shop and stroll, which will make its return on Thursday, December 9th. In between there, we have the Small Business Saturday on the 27th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, where we typically have a presence on the green and encourage folks to shop local. And I also will mention that next week, or I think next Saturday, the Saturday after this one, the Fairfield University Bookstore will be celebrating its 10th anniversary. It's a special event downtown the morning of Saturday, November 13th. So if you're interested in attending, just let me know. We'll make sure that you get an invite for that. But I won't go further because I know Beverly has a couple of things that she wants to mention. So I'll turn the things over to Beverly. So
Thank you, Mark.
Welcome, Beverly.
Just want to mention that I think everyone is familiar with the Fairfield Community e-gift card program. We launched that last October, the end of October. The town and chamber came together during still a very difficult time in COVID, thinking what else can we do for our local business community. And we launched it. So we're coming upon our first anniversary, and next Monday, this coming Monday, we'll be holding a press conference to announce some of the statistics that we have over the course of this past year. Very proud to say that our community has purchased over $76,000 in e-gift cards. That is just an incredible number, and one that we can all be very proud of. I mean, I think that it's reflective of our residents, area, communities, town effort, chamber effort, all of us coming together to demonstrate our support for the gift card program. Mark has been using the e-gift cards for his promotions, for raffle winners, prizes, and things like that. The school, the Department of Education purchased 1,000 e-gift cards last year at a $5 denomination there. But what was so wonderful about that is it drove 1,000 people to downtown, or the participating businesses, to use that $5 card. It was teacher appreciation. And likely that some of these teachers may have visited a new restaurant or retail store and hopefully spent more than the $5.
yeah, that won't get you very far.
Maybe one coffee.
Right.
So anyway, the program has just been fabulous. So Jackie Bertoloni has sent out a press release to the press inviting them to come on Monday at 11:30. If any of you would like to attend, please come. It will be held at the Fairfield Museum in their meeting room. So we're very, very excited about this. Great.
Do you have like a template that you could use for promoting it? Like if I posted, like, I mean, we're older, and I know Facebook is probably a older demographic, but like posting it in different channels, just like, a template ready to go. I'm sure like if I did, a lot of people would like, hey, that's a good idea, and pick up from it. So
yes, and we can totally send that to you. What we try to do is to wrap themes around it. Like right now we have fall flower leaves around it. In graduation, we do graduation things. But yes, there's a template, and I can forward that to all the commissioners as well. But we're excited. So that's just great news. It's measurable. It's fantastic. And then after Small Business Saturday, the Sunday after Thanksgiving, Santa will be arriving in Fairfield. It's been 2 years since we have seen him. We will have the 2 horse and wagons that go
When he's
around.
been here, he's just been on Zoom, so.
Yes, right, exactly. And so we're very excited about that. We anticipate a very big crowd for this event since it's been 2 years, but excited to bring that back to the community as one of our community events. So we hand out little plush toys to all the children that come up into Sherman Green gazebo. Parents take pictures of the kids sitting on Santa's lap, and it's just a wonderful event. So, and normally we have a petting zoo. We're not doing that this year. It's a little tight. And then we have our nonprofits come onto the green. This is free to them since this is a time of giving during the holiday season. So looking forward to that. So hope to see you on the 28th to visit with Santa and enjoy the day with us. It
Wonderful,
runs
Beverly.
until 2.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other business?
Yeah, I'll just mention a couple other things. One is I know, and Beverly tears up every time she mentions it, but Krista McCormick, her longtime office manager, administrative assistant, is going on to a different life experience down in Texas and is leaving the Fairfield Chamber. And we're having a farewell party get together next Tuesday to see her off and thank her for her long and tenured service. So I did want to mention that, but also
Thank you.
the other thing more, with the time remaining, there's an opportunity now with the state of Connecticut has issued a request for grant applications around a program called the Connecticut Communities Challenge. Some of you may have heard about it. They're providing grant funding of between $1 million to $10 million per project. There's approximately $20 to $50 million available in the first of 2 rounds of funding. 50% of the funding is allocated toward distressed municipalities, which Fairfield is decisively not one of those. But we are interested in pursuing this. So you do need to have a 50% local match. The intent of the program is to drive job creation as well as to create more livable, vibrant communities, particularly around transit hubs and downtown corridors. And so, one of the issues that we've looked at, that we have two projects. Obviously, we have 3 train stations in town, but 2 that provide some opportunities where we have infrastructure constraints that limit future development and growth opportunities. One is obviously at Fairfield Metro, where I think all of you know, we have the East Trunk Sewer Project, which services about 60% of the town, takes sewage from the eastern half of Fairfield. And currently that is in an aged, undersized pipe that is a major source of infiltration problems within the system. Is slated to be replaced, but it also is in an area where there's a legacy of environmental contamination. And we had, and because it's gravity fed and we're getting closer to the actual treatment plant, some of the excavations are pretty deep. So it's a very expensive project. We had applied for and received a grant through my office of $750,000 under Urban Act to put towards construction of this replacement main. That was based on an estimated construction cost of $2.5 million. The current estimate is roughly $7.5 million. So the Water Pollution Control Authority is wrestling with this. They've done value engineering to confirm the cost. They're trying to get a handle in terms of what, if any, environmental remediation issues they may encounter during excavation or construction work. And they'll now need to seek additional financing for the project. But the thought had occurred to me that, again, without this replacement, it kind of limits development opportunities, not just at Fairfield Metro, but for the eastern half of Fairfield, unless we resolve this issue. So that might be one possibility. Now, the second is downtown. We did get some funding set aside through the ARPA process to deal with stormwater management. downtown resiliency and to address flooding downtown. But there's also a sanitary sewer component to this as well, which I didn't realize until recently when a developer had come before the Water Pollution Control Authority for a project and was told that they couldn't approve it without his making improvements to the sanitary sewer that runs down the Post Road. Again, there's apparently an undersized section of pipe that constrains the ability to accommodate future development and growth. And, you know, unlike some other places that I'm familiar with, kind of this guy, because of his poor timing, I guess, is left trying to foot the bill for the entirety of this cost, and everyone after them would essentially benefit from this improvement. So that too is a potential candidate for this, in that if we don't address some of these infrastructure issues, we won't be able to accommodate any future infill or redevelopment that would add additional sewerage into the system or create some, you know, when you do development, obviously you have to deal with the stormwater at some point. And the system that we have is, again, undersized and constrained by certain parameters that need to be addressed. So we are looking at both of those opportunities and likely will make an application. If for no other reason, maybe that would put us in better position in round two, because there is a second round of funding. But the initial interest notice, I think you have to file basically it's a two-part application process, but you have to give notice that you intend to apply by early next month. So I just wanted to let the commission know that that is something that we are pursuing, and I'm working with the finance department and their grant writer to do that.
That's excellent, Mark. I think that's really a good direction. So thank you. Any other questions or
I did see Don has joined us, by the way.
Ah,
Yeah, I was working on something else and just logged in a few minutes ago.
Okay,
wonderful.
we'll give you an excuse this time.
Don, we wanted to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all the time you've really given to the commission and the friendship that we've all enjoyed in having you be a part of this commission. So I know it's a modest thing to do, but we all wish to thank you so much for being a part of this commission. We understand that this might be your last meeting, so thank you. Do you have any commentary?
No, it's been a pleasure to work with Mark and the dozens of other commissioners that I've served with the last 10 years. And so I encourage everyone that to keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll be meeting in person again soon. And I look forward to perhaps being a bystander.
Yeah, Don, you're always welcome, of course.
Always welcome. Doors always open, for sure, for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for spending some time today. I will draw the meeting to a close if there's no objection.
Sounds good. Okay,
All right.
we're adjourned at 9:31 a.m. Thank you all.
Everyone,
Be in
have a
touch.
good rest of the week.
Take care,
All right.
everyone.
All right, bye-bye.